All right. Chris Cassis here, Indian Springs Real Estate with a real estate update for you. It is September 2025. The August numbers are in, and here is our Greater Palm Springs Desert Housing Report produced by the Greater Palm Springs Association of Realtors, and it focuses on our 11 desert cities from Coachella to Desert Hot Springs. At the start of this report is our sales recovery chart. Here is a normal line in the middle, which is based on sales prior to COVID. And then when COVID hit, you'll see that sales got to as much as 59% above average or above normal. And then right after COVID, it dropped to as low as 34, almost 35%. And now we're at 32% this time of year. We will see some swings based on our seasonal traffic, but this time last year, we were at 34%. So things are just a little bit better than they were in 2023 at the bottom of the market. All right, in summary, the median price of a detached home in the Coachella Valley ended at $648,348, which is a change of 0.1% from last year, so it's about the same. As far as sales, the 3-month average here in August was 550 units, and that's compared to 580 units last year. So sales are a little bit slower than last year. However, dollar sales in August were $450 million compared to $450 million again last year. Why is that? That's because more expensive homes have been selling. Inventory, at the end of August, total valley inventory was 2,796 units, which is a change from last year of 25%. So inventory is up quite a bit. Then we look at selling times and price premiums discounts. This is what it's taking to sell a home. Days on market in the Coachella Valley was 60 days, which is about 12 days above last year. So it's taking a little bit longer to sell. And price premium, or should we say discounts, have increased just a bit. Detached homes are selling at an average discount of 2.9%. That's a little bit up. It was 2.3 last year, and now we're at 2.9%. So homes are taking a little bit longer to sell, and sellers are negotiating a little bit more to make that sale. As far as pricing, here's our pricing chart. And of course, we've seen over the years pricing going up. This was the unregulated mortgage market and then the crash right after that. And then after that, we've seen a steady incline or increase in property values and the average sales price. Last year, the average sales price was $649,000. This year, again, it's dropped just a little bit. We're at $648,000. All right, this is the attached and detached total sales. Here you're going to see a chart that shows the number of sales for the month. The 3-month average for sales in August was 550 units compared to 589 units a year ago. And that's a change of 6.6%. Then if you look at those sales by price bracket, where are those sales happening? Here on the left-hand side, you will see homes starting at less than 300, then 3, 4, $500,000 price points, 6, 7, 8, 900,000. You'll see a decrease, and then again a bump up as we get over $1 million. So this is where the sales are happening. And of course, you can see a majority of the sales are happening in here at 3, 4, 5, and 600,000. And then as we get up to 900,000, the sales number decrease, and then as we go over $1 million, it starts to increase again. And then as far as the dollar sales or total sales, dollar sales in August were $450 million, which is a change of 0.1% from last year. So really the total sales volume or dollar amounts the same. There's fewer smaller homes being sold while there are more larger homes being sold. So that's why we have roughly the same amount of dollar sales, although there are fewer sales being done. And then in price brackets, you're going to see that there are far more dollars going into these $1 million bracket price points versus the $300,000, $400,000, $500,000, $700,000 homes. All right, inventory and month of sale ratios. Let's take a look at the inventory. This time last year, there was 2,200 homes on the market, and we're at 2,700. So combined inventory of detached and attached homes in the valley was at 2,796 units, which is 559 units or homes more than last year, and that's a 25% change. Where's that inventory at? And of course, the bigger cities will have most of the inventory. So Palm Springs, Palm Desert, and Indio have most of the inventory. But what you're going to see here is a change year over year. So last year, here in Indio, there was 301 homes for sale. And this year, there's 406. And you're going to see that similar trend in most all desert cities. And by price bracket inventory, as you go through the $300,000, $400,000, and $500,000 homes, it's going to be a nice little hump. And then you're going to see a lot more inventory over $1 million. You're also going to see a year-over-year change of an increase in inventory in all of these price points as well. Days on market and price premium discount. This will show you how long it's taking for homes to sell and how much sellers are negotiating to sell their homes. This is the medium days on market here in the Coachella Valley. We are averaging right around 60 days on market. That's up a little bit over 48 from last year. However, you'll see that's roughly pre-pandemic timing. So we are getting back to kind of average on days on market. If you look at days on market per city, you'll see that most all of them are doing about the same. And of course, similar increases over last year. And if you look at price points, you'll find a similar increase in days on market, regardless of what price point you're in. All right, this is the Coachella Valley average price premium discount, and this is showing how much sellers are negotiating above and below their asking price. Pre-pandemic, you can see we were averaging right around 2.5%, and then when the pandemic hit, average sales price got above asking price, and then at post-pandemic, average has dropped to about 2.3, and then now 2.9 or close to 3% off of their asking prices. And then if you look at that negotiation or those discounts based on price point, you'll find that here at the lower side of the price point, at $300,000 and $300,000, they're negotiating or coming off their asking price quite a bit to make a sale, helping out those entry-level buyers. And then, of course, it decreases as we get into the middle of the marketplace. And then as we go up in price, you'll find the sellers here over the $1 million mark, or $1 million give or take up, have been negotiating quite a bit more, from 3.5% to 5.5% to get those homes sold. All right, and this one, percent of homes selling over list price. You're probably asking, how can homes be selling over asking or over the list price? And in fact, 10% of homes selling are still selling over their asking or list price. And in fact, my last 2 sales sold above their asking or list price. So there are 2 different reasons why that can happen. In fact, there's multiple reasons, but if you want to know why and how some of these homes are still selling over their asking price, give me a call. That's what I'm here for. You can reach me at 760-537-0346, or you can visit our website at www.indianspringsrealestate.com to learn about me, my services, and how I can help. Thanks for watching. Bye.